It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. Next on Madden NFL 23.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the former Florida Gator Eddie Pinheiro to get us started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
New York State committed to Daniel Jones for a 4th season, but also made this a decisive year by declining his 5th-year option. 2022 looks like Jones' final chance to prove he can be the franchise face for the Giants, and he does have a cadre of weapons that he'll need to top his career highs of 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns that he set as a rookie.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. The 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Carolina's offense ready for its first possession, and at the helm, their new QB brought in via trade this offseason. His 5th year now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Baker Mayfield.
And if there's a quarterback in the NFL who didn't need any extra motivation, it was certainly Baker Mayfield, because this young man already has a permanent chip on his shoulder to prove the doubters wrong. Being replaced and then traded from Cleveland, the team who took him #1 overall, it only added considerable fuel to his fire. Now in Carolina, his entire focus is proving that he can be an elite QB and silencing all the noise.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That good for 19 and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And some room to work. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 56 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, Christian McCaffrey is as tough to bring down as they come at the running back position, and he proved it right there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
Throwing Jones. He's got him in. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there for Carolina. 43 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Baker Mayfield, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Well, that's what you want to see from your quarterback when it's a goal line situation. A guy who's not afraid to tuck the ball, give his body up, and get into the end zone. That ought to inspire his entire team.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defense in.
Barkley hit and the ball pops free. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Back to throw. Jones. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. To Barkley. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. 20. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And the Giants ready to come out now. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. Jones now to throw on 3rd down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield now. Dancing to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Taking a shot here for Marshall. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Robbie Anderson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And it's now 21-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Carolina. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. Taking it about the 1. Here's Smith to return it. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down. Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back. It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Takes it to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. McCaffrey running up the middle, powering forward. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just got to find a way to tackle someone.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Mayfield. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised him and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Free kick out of bounds.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He was brought down there by Julian Love. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score your set. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Jones. And puts it on the carpet. It's out. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. They go play action. Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh? No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Again, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey punching it in from a yard away. And the Panthers have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. That time a 6-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And this is going to be intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. It's a room to maneuver. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 136 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And incomplete on the deep ball. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.